Hello everyone, I'm Aveex of Fire, and welcome to the Aveex Files. Today's episode is on my actual first Bible set, and for that reason, my favorite Toa, Jaller, Toa of Fire. Jaller's tale starts off in Metru Nui, the City of Legends. Although not much is known about Jaller's life in Metru Nui, there are some cool things we do know, like he was a mask maker. Is that just a swell job? You know, all Tomatorn have a really cool job in Metru Nui. Anyway, Jaller also met Takua and they became friends. I honestly feel like this is just a lazy retcon, so the story writers can say, look, if they're friends on Metru Nui, it means they have to be friends always. You know what I mean? Strangely enough, Jaller was also friends with Vakama. What a small world. But everything changed when the Great Cataclysm struck. Like all of the other Matorn, Jaller was put into a coma-like sleep, and then was later awoken by the Toa Metru, as they sacrificed their Toa powers to awaken them. Traga Vakama saw that Jaller's original Kanohi was broken, so he gave Jaller the noble hall worn by the great Lekons. Quick side note, if you want to know a tiny bit more about Lekon, check out my Aveex Files on Matau. It gives you a glimpse about Lekon's importance. Anyway, since all the Matorn were in Matorn Spears, they lost all the memories about Metru Nui, and they gotten a lot weaker. Again, another lazy retcon in my opinion. But Jaller was different from all the other Matorn. His athletic ability, in devotion to his duty, and also his leadership skills made him a standout. That's why Traga Vakama chose him to be his right hand. Jaller was also a nice dude. He was loyal to his fellow Matorn and Toa, and he worked diligently. I bet a lot of people would love to have Jaller-like people around. I mean, speaking of working diligently, I'm writing the script 2 days before the video is supposed to be finished. Yeah. Anyway, continuing Jaller's story, he wanted to explore Metru Nui, but he knew that he couldn't because he had to do his duty. And also, during the Rahi War, he was the one that organized Mount Nui's forces so that they could defend themselves. Good job, Jaller. Jaller was also among the group of guards that encountered Toa Tahu when he arrived on Mount Nui. Once he was reintroduced to Takua, they became good friends again. Later on, Jaller and his guard helped defend Kini Nui with the help of the Chronicler's Company. They were able to defeat the Rahi that were sent by the evil Makuta. In the Bull Rock War, Jaller traveled all across Mata Nui to help his friends and as many people as he could. And during this time, he and Takua met a Gamator named Holly. Jaller and Holly formed an affectionate friendship. Yeah, I'm putting that in quotes. When the second wave of Borak struck, the Borak Call, Jaller was backing up the Toa Nova in any way he could. Jaller was able to capture a Chronic Call for my Parak Call. Not bad for a Matorn, I must say. At the conclusion of the Borak attacks, Takua and Jaller were chosen to be rebuilt by the Traga to be bigger, faster, and stronger because they had the technology. I think that's a quote somewhere. I don't know. They were shown off to all the Matorn on the island, who were also rebuilt in the same way. This is just another lazy retcon for the O3 Matorn. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, something I almost neglected to mention is Jaller's name was originally Jaller, that being spelled J-A-L-A, but due to a few lawsuits, it was changed to Jaller, this being spelled J-A-L-L-E-R. LEGO also had a little thing in the Bible story, so this can be all canon and such. It was called Naming Day. Jaller's name was changed to Jaller, and the story continues. Jaller and Takua later entered a Koli tournament, but they lost to Gaikoro in the championship. The Mask of Light fell out of Takua's bag at the end of the game. Takua did not claim responsibility, nor did he want to carry it around. Jaller and Takua were sent on a mission to find the 7th Toa, as the Traga believed the mask would lead them to them. Jaller and Takua witnessed the Rakshi being released and the near destruction of Onukoro. The Mask of Light eventually led them to Kini Nui, and for all you people who don't know, Kini Nui is at the center of Mont Nui. So basically, the mask made them go all the way around. So yeah, the mask is a jerk. But there was a huge battle fought between the Toa Nuva and Rakshi. This ended up with Jaller sacrificing his life to save Takua from a Rock. Don't get mad at me, I don't know how to say it. Thus ends our tale. Nope, because in Bionicle, anything is possible. What really happened was, after Jaller died, Takua put on the Mask of Light, and he transformed himself into Takanuva, Toe of Light. Sounds cool, right? Anyway, Takua, now Toa Takanuva, goes down to confront Makuta, and they have a fight, and after the fight, they merge into one being called Takutanuva, and he uses some of his power to revive Jaller. The door slams on Takutanuva, splitting Takanuva and Makuta, so, they can have two different characters again. After Jaller gets revived, the Turaga tell everyone about Metro Nui and their secrets in the past and blah blah blah, and then they tell everyone to pack up because they're heading to Metro Nui. So once they arrive at Metro Nui, sometime later, the Turaga send the Toa Nuva on a mission, and they don't tell the Matoran. Real smart move, I know. Not really. This angered Jaller because they just told him a secret. Now they're gonna hide another secret? Terrible, man. Terrible. So Jaller demanded to know where the Toa Nuva are, but the Turaga refused to tell him, or anyone. So he was all like, man, why you gonna keep secret, man? Why secrets? So then they have a little riot, or whatever. They refuse to stop working. But then eventually, Turaga Nakama tells him about the Toa Nuva's mission, and about how they went to Voyanui, and how they have to find the Mask of Life to save Motunui from dying. And, yeah. As a response to this, Jaller gathers up the quote-unquote bravest Matoran he can find, this being Holly, Kongu, Matoro, Hyuki, and Nuparo. Also, they brought along Takanuva, because, throwing another Toa in there, throwing a Toa, not another Toa, they aren't Toa yet. Jeez, Aveex. So they all go to Voyanui, well, they're headed to Voyanui, and then they come across a barrier that stops light entities from going through. Since Takanuva is a Toa of light, he can't go through the barrier. And a little side note, there's not a lot of many light barriers, so I don't know why they would need to make a light barrier. I mean, why a light barrier? Seriously. And it's like to a realm to Karzani. I don't know if Karzani is afraid of light beings, or he's a being of shadow, and the whole point. I don't know. I honestly do not know. This is confusing me. If you guys have any ideas, post them in the comments. I need to know this. Everyone needs to know this. We need to know why the light barrier. Stay determined, Aveex. You have 5 more pages of notes to go through. Thank you, random voice in the corner. That was also me. Thank you. Anyway, our protagonists stumble upon a realm ruled by Karzani. He takes our heroes' masks and replaces them with strange organic ones, like for instance Jaller's Hall, which was Toa Likon's, is now replaced with a Calyx. I don't know the name of it. I hopefully I said it right. Calyx? Yell at me in the comments, please. Anyway, poor Likon's mask. I mean, there's nothing else heard of what happened to that mask. All the things that happened to that mask and how significant it kind of is. It's just now gone. It's probably destroyed because never mind. I won't tell you the end of the storyline, but it's now gone. Thanks, Karzani. You're messed up being. Just why? Completely sucks, man. Completely sucks. After the band of Matoran chat with Karzani, they kind of find out he's not fully there. He's a crazy man. So they book it to some long-abandoned Toa canisters that they find, and they head off to Voyanui. Once they arrive on Voyanui, the Red Star, aka the plot maker, if it needs plot, Red Star. Anyway, it strikes them with lightning, and the bolts of lightning transform them into the Toa Ignika. Yeah. Quick side note here, the Toa Ignika's journey is quite long. I mean, I still have 3 pages of facts to write about, so I'm not going to cover everything. And I'm going to skip parts and, little bits of it, so, because, it's very long. So, if you want to hear the whole thing about the Toa's journey, and, it's kind of in-depth, here's a little plug. Check out Bionicle N17's Island of Doom. It does the story justice. I'm going to skip all the way to where the point of where the Toa are going down the cord to Maranui. So just check that out. It's a great stop motion. It's amazing. But check it out if you want an actual good in-depth view. So the group walks on the island for a little bit, and they stumble upon Vizok, the one of the Paraka. So they battle and stuff, and then into the battle, they meet the Matoran resistance team. These Matoran are special because they're the only Matoran that are unslaved, meaning there's pretty much a lot of Matoran on the island, and there's only 6 of them, meaning only 6 of them have escaped. Crazy, right? I know. So the group splits up to do tasks. Jaller's task is to find Axon, and he's in a group with Holly, Delu, and Piruk. So after they find Axon, they battle up the Paraka, and in the battle, Hakan and Thok use a special Zamor spear to drain Rutaka's powers, and everyone was knocked out in the prison except for Nuparu and Zaktan, who were fighting, and since Nuparu has the Mask of Flight, he flew Zaktan and himself far away from the battle. Nuparu quickly finishes up Zaktan and frees his friends that were in prison. The Paraka strike a deal with him. They'll give them a special Zamor spear that will return Rutaka's powers to him. And after a little scuffle, Rutaka's powers went back to him in the 77, I don't know, there's 3 sevens in a row, steps were revealed. Yeah. And the two groups raced up the stairs, encountering many challenges on the way, such as the Toa fighting enemies of the past and accidentally killing them. And it was later revealed to be the Toa Nuva, but Kongu, using his mask, found out that they were just illusions. Another chamber said that one of the ranks must be sacrificed, and Maturo heroically volunteered himself because, in his eyes, he was the weaker link to the chain of Toa, meaning he viewed himself as useless because he was just a translator for the Turaga. So, and all the other Toa, like Jaller, he was a guard, so it means he had experience with fighting, and Hyuki was a Koli player, so he was more athletic. So he viewed himself as just weak, so he said he'll do it, and then he was killed, but then brought back to life because it was a trial. After encountering many other trials and tasks, they finally were at the Chamber of Life, where they met the final guardian, Vizon. Not Vizok, Vizon. Just go on BioWiki, research these things I'm not mentioning, okay? Okay, good. Anyway, the mask was attached to the back of his head, and there was a long drawn-out fight, and it ended up with Vizon being melted into the lava, and then re-emerging on top of the Kardas dragon. Jaller used a Zamar spear that was given to him to freeze him long enough so Matoro could reach the mask that was behind his head. But the mask had him on its own, and flew up and then into the ocean, which is where Maranui is, so yeah. So the Toa Ignika go and rescue the Toa Nuva, and then they talk to them and Axon. Axon shows them a way to Maranui, and on the way down, they're attacked by Vizon, the person they just fought. But then Vizon remembered, oh wait, the Mask of Life is the only thing giving me power, so crap. And the fight ends as soon as Jaller incinerates his Spear of Fusion. As they head deeper, they fight the Zagalak, who they fight and whatever, and then they're transformed into water breathers by the Mask of Life. So they soon discover an underwater city full of Matorn, which is called Metronui. Not Metronui, Aveex. Why? Called Maranui. And once they arrive, the Matorn there do not trust them because, you know, they have the Baraki, who are also kind of creatures like them in their eyes. So they're all like, what are you? You call yourself a Toa? You look more like a thing. It's gonna harm us. So go away. Anyway, they're told to attend the airfields, and all Toa go except Matoro. So yeah. Once the Toa arrive, they fight the Baraki and their armies, and the battle happens, you know, fighting, blah blah blah. The Toa are placed into a series of caves by the Baraki, and Jaller and Kongu are ambushed by Kalmak and Karpar. They fight for a bit, and then a giant squid arrives. Kongu nearly dies, but then a Hanakan crab shows up and saves them. The crab was later befriended by Jaller, and Kongu was all like, hey, I should use my mask powers, blah. And he summons a creature. Not a creature like Uxar, but just a random creature. So the creature, you know, is all like, I'm a big creature, rah, rah. And the Baraki are all like, oh no, it's a giant creature, oh no. So they're scared off, and the Toa all reunite. And they also find a cave, which is the Baraki's weapons, something or whatever. And they equip themselves with weapons. Yep, so that's where they get their Kordak blasters. Kordak blasters, right? I think so. I forgot. The Toa head back to the city, and they're not trusted by the Matoran. And the leader of the Matoran, Dafilak, grants them the title of the Toa Mari. So that's where they get their name. Matoro informs the other Toa that they have to destroy the cord so they can achieve their goal. So they evacuate, words, it's late at night, whatever, they evacuate everyone to Axon, who then, before they get there, they are attacked by a mutant snake, which it turns out that snake is the Paraka. But luckily, Axon jumps in and defeats the snake creature thing. He tells the Matoran that he's going to protect them, and Axon tells the Toa that, here you go, here's this giant, large insect creature thing. So they ride back on that, and that large creature is actually, believe it or not, the Toa Crawler. Yeah, so that little thing is actually canon. I personally do not believe that. I personally do not think that to be canon. So yeah, they go back, and there's a huge battle being fought right there. And it's the Toa against the Baraki, Gadunka, Hydraxon, and Maxilos. So it's like fighting, and you know, it's quite dramatic. Luckily, Jaller and Matoro are able to get away with the Mask of Life for a little bit, and they manage to break the cord in the process, sending Voinui to its original state. But sadly, Matnui dies in this process. But Matoro, being filled with determination, believes that something could be done. So the team defends him as he runs for the cord. Jaller starts to perform a Nova Blast, knowing full well that would kill him, the Baraki, and everyone around him. That means even his Toa team. This shows how committed Jaller is to his duty, meaning he will sacrifice his life for everyone so they can live happily. So thank you, Jaller. You're a good person. You're a great Toa. That's why he's my favorite Toa. That's why. I mean, would Tahu do that? Possibly, but no. Would Vakama do that? Also, yeah. Scratch that. Moving on. So he's performing it or whatever, but then suddenly he's teleported, and all of his other Toa are teleported to Metro Nui. They're all like, "Whoa, whoa, where's Matoro?" And Jaller realizes, oh, Matoro is not among us. So he comes to the conclusion that Matoro sacrificed himself so he could save everyone. Toraka Vakamo shows up and he's like, "Hey guys, I had a vision about Matoro. He's his end or whatever. He's probably dead now." The Toa all head to the Coliseum to mourn their loss. I mean, seriously, I think all you people here can kind of see why Jaller is so heartbroken. Because losing a Toa is like losing a brother. Like an actual brother. Meaning someone he grew up with and is now gone. Let's give this hero a moment of silence for what he did. Whatever, that's long enough, right? Okay. So, we're in the home stretch of Jaller's story. The rest of the Toa Mari serve as guardians of Metro Nui. One day the Toa Haga show up, and they fight with the Toa Mari to defeat a giant Rahi summoned by Coltrez. After the fight happens, the Toa Mari help the Toa Haga get her underneath the Coliseum. Jaller, Nuparu, and Holly are sent on a mission to go to Ardax to summon all the Vizrak to that location. Along the way, they meet an old foe, one of the Baraki, Tarkadox, who hypnotizes the three. Wait, hold it right there. Why is he able to hypnotize them? I mean, they fought him a long time ago in the ocean, so if he could do that now, why didn't he do that back then? I mean, it would solve everything. Just, I don't know. In my opinion, it's probably just another lazy retcon, or whatever. Luckily, Jaller managed to get contacted by the Makuta, causing him to snap out of it, and Jaller throws fireballs at his fellow Toa, causing them to snap free as well. They all head back to the City of Legends, and they see that the city is under attack by the Brotherhood of Makuta. Holly raises the sea and is about to attack, but suddenly a storm arises underneath the sea, underneath all the fleet and stuff. With the combined efforts of the Toa Nuva and the Toa Mari, they both drive out the Brotherhood. So the day is saved, again with the two best Toa teams. in my opinion. To add to the good news, the Toa Nuva informed everyone that the Great Spirit was awoken, but nothing good can last forever in Bionicle. So Montanui is taken over by the Makuta, and he's Mask of Life, or whatever, is sent off into space. All the Toa head to Zarka's, I don't know, where they discover that the Skakti have a pool of energized protodermis. The pool transforms into a figure that hypnotizes the Toa Mari into serving the Skakti. The story writers just love to make the Toa either be hypnotized or be knocked out. Like, seriously, this is getting ridiculous. First they were hypnotized by, first they were knocked out by a fight or whatever. Then after that, they were hypnotized by, they weren't hypnotized. They were knocked out by another thing, I forgot. And then they hypnotized again by their enemy, and now they're hypnotized again. Like, seriously, calm down with the hypnotizing and knocking out, please. Stop. Like everyone else, Jaller managed to escape to Spiritus Magna, and that's the last we heard of him, well, story-wise. So like how I do with my other Aveex files, I'm going to be talking about the personality, then I'm going to follow that by talking about his equipment. Jaller was very dedicated to his duty, and when the times called for it, sometimes he was very humorless. But that all changed when he met Takua. He became more laid back and more chill, you know? Laid back and chill. So it's a joke because he's a Tomatoran, fire, chill as ice. I'm sorry. It was a lazy attempt at a joke. I'm sorry. As a Matoran, he wore Likon's Noble Hall, but since he was a Matoran, he cannot access the powers, and his fire powers were also not able to be used. But he was a Tomatoran, so that means he had natural heat resistance. As a Toa, Jaller knew about all the previous Toa Fire's failures, and was more sensible towards his team. In the back of his mind, he was always haunted by his death. But as the Toa Ignika, he had fire powers combined with lightning, and he wore a great calyx. This mask allows its user to increase their physical limit to its max. He also carried an energized flame sword and a multi-shot Zamor launcher. When he transformed into a Toa Mari, he lost the lightning part of his powers, but he carried a power sword, and his mask was the Canonian Arthenon, or masked sonars. He also befriended a hacking crab, which carried his Kordak blaster. Now moving on to set information, can you believe that we got 4 versions of Jaller? This is crazy, man. One of them for each incarnation. The first of them is Jaller, the Mictoran. This set was released in 2001. It was inside Happy Meals. Yeah, this is one set that you couldn't find on store shelves. Its set number was 1391 and had a piece count of 8. The next one is Jaller and Gaku, which was released in 2003 and its set number was 8549 and it had a piece count of 165. The next one we have is Jaller Ignika. This was released in 2006 and its set number was 8727 and had 46 pieces. And finally, we have Jaller Mari, released in 2007 with its set number being 8911 and a piece count of 68. I cannot speak today. I'm sorry. And this one was actually my first Bionicle set. Well, at least I can remember, because I kind of remember getting Kongu and Iparu along with this one. But yeah, this is actually my first set. I honestly say that. Like, if someone asked me, what's your first set, I would say Jaller Mari. But I don't know. I forgot. It was a long time ago. Thus ends the 3rd episode of the Aveex Files. Don't forget to leave me a comment telling me your feedback, because I can only get better if I know what I did wrong. All information came from Bionicle Wiki and Lego's Bionicle books. Most of the pictures and characters are Lego's property, and yeah. So, sorry if my mic quality was kind of bad on this. My microphone was like messing up when I was trying to record it. I didn't have enough time to do stuff. Because believe it or not, I worked on the script yesterday. Well, when you see this, I worked on it 2 days ago. And then I worked on the video yesterday. So basically I got the whole video done yesterday, and I worked on the script the other day. So yeah, you better be like, thanks, Aveex, you're the best. You made all this, thanks. So yeah, well, like this if I did good, and this is Aveex Toe of Fire, and I'm out. Bye! Next week, tune in for, I don't know. I forgot to ask Titan. Sorry, I don't really know. But there will be in the next episode.